In this video, we will learn how to use the final two functions that are available in the Tools menu. You can find it down here. We have already worked on the protractor and on the ruler. Today, we will be working on the web browser and on the PDF reading function. The web browser has already been opened. As you can see, it opens a window directly within Dabliu Notes. So you can use that window to explain a website to your students more clearly and more effectively, or to work on it by adding annotations directly, or even to take some information from it and bring it across into Dabliu Notes. One of the more straightforward uses that comes to mind just now is, for example, the so-called newspaper in the classroom. We might want to look at a page, say the home page, for instance, of Corriere della Sera or La Repubblica, choose whichever paper you prefer, and comment on it together with the students. So in this case, for example, the article suggested today by Wikipedia is about the First Battle of the Marne. So here you can see there is some text, there are some images, okay? Let's see what I can do. I select a word, and by dragging, I select, for example, the whole first paragraph. At this point, of course, I can copy it, as you can see. I could share it, and I could also carry out an online web search on the text. So just imagine the need you might also have to define particular individual words that your students might not know. Let us begin with a word we come across in a web article and learn it through a follow-up search. Clearly, this is also of interest because you always need to keep in mind the fact that Dabliu Notes, yes, we are looking at it on a Dabliu Touch, however, is also available on students' devices. We are able to have the screen read aloud to us. Okay, so if a student with SEND found themselves needing to have a particular portion of text read aloud, then they could certainly do so by using this particular function. For now, we might focus on things that are a little more straightforward, so I copy the text. At this point, the text has been copied successfully, and I then enable the text box function, which I create simply by dragging my finger around inside my whiteboard. At this point, I tap on it as though I wanted to write on it, and among all the functions that appear, which we will take a look at in other videos, we can also find our clipboard with the batch and so on, which is precisely what we copied earlier. Having done that, I then tap outside and therefore save the text within my whiteboard. I tap again and gently drag the corners of the text box so that it takes on the precise proportions that I need. Another thing I can do by making use of the web browser that is built into Dabliu Notes is to import a screenshot. When I already have the image that I need displayed in my web browser, I can then tap on this icon, which will automatically capture and save a screenshot of that page at that precise moment. After that, I can remove my web browser. And how exactly do I do that? I simply tap the browser icon in the tools once again, and I'm then left with just my image. I take it by making use of the selection tool itself. Once I have saved the image, I can then enlarge it, and I can make use of the writing tools within my Dabliu Notes to help me to focus my students' attention on one very specific detail. Right. This is certainly one of the ways that I can use to enhance the overall effectiveness of my lessons by using the Dabliu Notes web browser function. This is the first way that came to mind for me to enhance the effectiveness of history lessons, for example, with this Dabliu Notes feature. If you can think of others, we look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Now let's take a slightly closer look at the other function. Rather than the Tools menu, the final one that we still have remaining, which is the PDF analysis feature within Dabliu Notes. I tap on the Tools and PDF function, and as you can see here, I have a range of different options available to me. The first thing, of course, is to upload a PDF, because at the moment there's simply nothing there. So I upload a PDF, and I would remind you that we linked Dabliu Notes to my G Drive, so everything I have there and have used over these years without Dabliu Notes can be easily reused within the whiteboard. And as you saw in the previous video, I have the PDF ready and available immediately and seamlessly because everything is already there, page after page, okay, ready for me to use in order to explain. We have two options available here, capture page and capture view. Capturing a page is truly the simplest option available. If I tap a capture page or a screenshot of the complete page is saved, meaning the entire page that I'm viewing at that precise moment in the PDF. Capture view, on the other hand, performs a crop of the page, limited specifically to the part that I'm viewing at that particular moment. So you can imagine that perhaps you want to import a PDF that has around 10 pages, maybe even a dozen pages, and you're interested in a single page, or you're interested in just part of a page. Choose one of the two functions to incorporate that crop or that page into your explanation. As usual, we invite you to leave in the comments any ideas you may have for using the two web browsing and PDF search functions in a slightly different manner than what you have seen in this video. See you!